What happens when an adult sneaks into a middle school? A couple of years ago, my stepdaughter left her school bag at home. She texted me to bring it to her, so on my lunch break, I grabbed it and drove to her middle school. As I walked toward the main office, a woman ushering kids into the auditorium shouted, "Get to the gym for assembly. Come on, guys, pick up the pace." I kept walking toward the office, but she turned to me and said, "Come on, Missy, turn around and get to the assembly." I burst out laughing, which only irritated her. "Young lady, you are late for assembly. Let's go," she continued. Before I could even tell her that I wasn't a student, her hand was behind my back and I was being forcefully walked into the auditorium. I just kept on laughing at her, which I guess pissed her off, so she wasn't listening to me anymore. When I got inside the auditorium, students were beginning to take their seats. Then a security guard touched my back and told me to go take my seat. At this point I snapped and said that's enough. I calmly told him that I don't go there and I only came to drop off my backpack to my daughter. He realized my pantsuit, heels, and makeup, and said, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." He talked on his walkie-talkie to get my daughter and I dropped off her backpack to her at the assembly. After I chatted with the security guard for a bit, he actually gave me his number, but I threw it out. I don't think it's right for a school security officer to have given his number to a woman he thought was a student. That was a major red flag for my daughter's school. When I left the auditorium, I was making my way out to the front door when the same lady who practically shoved me outside of the auditorium stopped me again. She screamed at me and said, "Young lady, report to my office right now. I'm tired of your games." At this point I was like, "You know what? Okay lady, I'll play your game. Let's see how you and your school are treating my daughter." So I sat down in her office and she sat in front of me heavily breathing. Then she started to go off on me for disrespecting the school's rules and that I shouldn't be laughing at the faculty. I slowly opened my purse and pulled out my driver's license and slid it to her while she was talking. When she saw my birthday was in 1995, she stopped talking. Then she asked who I was and why I was pretending to be a student, if this was a police investigation she wasn't aware of. I told her that I wasn't part of the police force, I was there to drop off a backpack to my daughter. Her face quite literally became as red as a tomato. I think she was nervous that I was going to sue her. She started apologizing profusely to me, but I told her not to be, because above anything I found it funny and it felt good to be mistaken as so young. She then started to compliment me and how good I looked for my age. She said I had skin like I'd never gone through puberty in my life. Then we started chatting about skincare and she must have thought I was insane because she thought I did a typical cleanser and moisturizer to make myself look young. But I told her I use microneedling. When she found I used needles in my face, she thought I was some masochist or extreme beauty guru, but I assured her I'm not. I showed her that I use a Cure micro-infusion facial system and explained that it doesn't hurt me at all because the needles are so paper thin and short, you can barely feel it. It penetrates your skin by just enough to make sure the oils go inside. I showed her pictures of me during my pregnancy and how I had gained so much acne. At the time I was using Korean skincare, CeraVe, and almost paid for laser treatment, but decided not to because of the side effect. When I bought a Cure micro-infusion facial system, it ended up being the only thing that worked because it tackled the acne from the inside rather than the outside, essentially flushing out the toxins in my skin. The woman laughed, saying she wished she had found out about the micro-infusion facial system sooner because maybe if she did her husband wouldn't have left her for a 22-year-old lady. Yikes.